Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Over the Top TV. I'm Riley Miller, and I'm joined by Mr. Curtis Klashinsky over there. How are you doing today, sir?
Doing good, sir. Doing great. Everything's looking up. Everything's going in the right direction. How you been, big guy? You just got back from something real exciting that I cannot wait to ask you about.
Yeah. How am I doing? I'm a very, very mixed combination of awesome and terrible. I feel awesome because of the experience, but my shoulders and elbows are an absolute disaster. So that is why I'm terrible.
Yeah, I'd be lying if I said I didn't notice your absence at practice last night. Just saying.
Yeah. Yeah, we had a decently large practice coming up, and I probably could have showed up and pulled for maybe 15 minutes before a lot of the pain started to show up again. And that was something I could have done, but I figured, well, let's make Saturday a really good practice. And I figured, well, I'll sit this one out and do some rehab, just some light band work and go from there.
Yeah, we just did some leg pulling too. I introduced a new guy to the sport, which is always fun. I really like that. I like when new people are interested. I'll happily take the time, show them the ropes, and even if they don't stick around, I'm always willing to do that. So, um, all
That
good
was
as
good.
far as that goes.
How did he do? Is he guys going to stick around, or is he?
I,
It really
I never
depends on
know.
how he.
I'm a terrible guesser at that. I really am. I never know who's coming back and who isn't coming back. But it
It's
was a
always
light
hard to.
practice. What's that?
I was just saying it's always hard to judge because the guy will be so into it, like, yeah, I love this. I'll be here next week. But that's before they wake up and they feel the pain.
Yeah,
So
just
it's really hard to
thrashed,
judge.
forearms thrashed.
Really hard to judge that the night of, right? You gotta
Yeah,
almost follow up a couple days later, be like, so you still thinking of coming back, or
yeah. No, you know what? You're right. It's so hard to know on who's coming back. But yeah, we just did. It was just a really small turnout, just rehab based stuff. I think everybody's ready for that practice this Saturday. For those of you who don't know, Team Saskatoon will be hosting a bunch of players. Richard Ryan and I've heard some of his guys will be coming in Saturday. It's going to be an afternoon practice. So our Friday, a typical Friday practice that Saskatoon normally has, we usually do Tuesdays and Fridays. Where we're doing Monday, which was a lighter workout, recovery based, and Saturday we're going to be hosting. So we're hosting Richard Ryan, and who else is coming? Gaber. Gaber's
Mr.
coming.
Steve Gaber?
Big
Yeah,
Steve Gaber. That's awesome. I cannot wait to grip up with that monster. He is a monster. So looking forward to that. And then he's bringing some guys, so we could have a huge turnout. Luckily, we're back up to 3 tables at my place, so that'll help a lot with that. And I heard Richard
absolutely.
Ryan might bring
Yeah,
a table as well. So 4 tables would be sweet.
yeah. Nobody will have an excuse to stop pulling that night. Yeah, I'm just gonna get my elbows and stuff back to decently close to good again, and then I'm just gonna go right into a hook with Gaber and back to terrible. So
Yeah, yeah, that won't take long.
it's
Yeah,
he's gonna beat the crap out of me all practice. So
absolutely. All right, so I guess this video will be a little bit different than the other ones because this is more of a news update video. What's going on? You won't see us covering as much of the international stuff here. Probably, who knows? Maybe in time we'll cover everything. But for now, we just want to cover a few things, right? So we want to cover your experience. You got to train with Matt Mask and Devon Larratt. I am so jealous, so jealous. That's a dream of mine. And then we're also going to cover what events are coming up because it's about to get real busy around here with some
yeah,
serious events.
yeah, there's a lot of stuff coming up. Like I said, both internationally and locally, there's a lot of hot stuff going on.
As many, fans of arm wrestling know right now that Devin is training with Matt, and they trained at a few places, right? They started with the Red Deer team and then ended up with Lethbridge team, right? And then back to
Yeah,
Red Deer and then to Edmonton is the plan. Isn't it Edmonton? Was that last night or is that tonight? Last
yeah.
night.
I think last night was Red Deer again, and then tonight is Red Deer. Or sorry, tonight is Edmonton, and that's the last one. And then I think Devin would probably fly out tomorrow. I think
Okay.
something like that.
Yeah,
So
yeah, and he's looking. I mean,
yeah,
I can in the video he looks massive. He must look even more scary in person. I'm guessing.
yeah. It's something. Yeah, it's one of those things. Photos don't do justice, right? He's a big dude, and I see all these picture, all these posts on like Facebook pages and even in the comments, but that all like arm wrestling discussion on Facebook, everybody's saying, "Oh, Matt's having a go at Devon there. I don't think he's ready for Levant." Those videos were after Devon pulled for like an hour straight. Matt was coming up there just to give him some blood work, right? Like they were given a lot of power in, but I don't think either one was really worried about pinning.
Okay.
They were more just hitting all those areas, right? So Matt would just surge over and then he'd stop, right? And Devon would sit there and, and bring him back. But a lot of people are thinking it's practices, all you gotta go off, right? But
Yeah.
but Devon is something else. Like I went there with the goal of changing his facial expression. I did in my videos, but I don't count it because it was at the very end.
What do you mean that doesn't count? What is that supposed to mean?
It was at the very end. Like he was done pulling. He was completely done. And I ended up in a conversation with him for a little bit after. And I think it was when I told him I came all the way from Saskatoon, he was like, "Oh, okay, well, come up on the table. I got to pull you." I said, "Oh, okay." Yeah, he was so gassed.
So there was a big turnout there, right? Was that like, I mean, it's hard to tell in the video. Like there was about 25, 30 people there. I couldn't tell.
Like Devon would walk in and he'd start on the table, and I'd say there was like about 35 maybe is the number I would say. And he'd start on the table and it would be like Caleb Freeborn would walk up, Devon would hold him and put him over. And then Dwayne Freeborn, his dad, same thing, right? And then it'd be like all the top dudes would go first, right? Just try and wear him down. Like Vitaly Petrenko was there, same thing, right?
Yeah.
And he went through, I would say, like 15 guys, quite a few times each, maybe like 2 or 3 times each arm, back and forth. And then Matt would step up and he'd give him a little bit more. And Devon would still, like I say win, but he wouldn't, they weren't really pinning each other. But
right.
Matt would show up relatively fresh and Devon was still holding his own. Like that dude is, Matt would tell you himself, that dude is off the charts right now. That was round 1, right? So Matt would go.
Yeah.
And then Devon would be like, "Okay, that's it for me for a little bit. Go sit down, have a water break for like 10 minutes, and then start it again, right? Whole club, and then Matt."
And
round 2.
And he stays at the table the whole time, hey? Like Devon just finds a table and he just stays there. Is that right? Like that's what it looks like on video. I'll do that here sometimes, but it is not after several days in a row of training against fresh teams. Like that's not even an option. That's scary.
Yeah. And then he showed up the night after, like watching the videos. He did the same thing. He pulled I think he started in Lethbridge. Len was first. Same thing. He went through all the Houghton boys. And then Ty. And then Matt. And then like a bunch of other dudes. And then like repeat. Right?
Goals, man.
So.
Call that goals. That's what I'm going to call that right now. Yeah. What a feeling that must be. So he's doing that, and then how long does he have? So he's got a bit yet before his match with Levon. Does he start taking breaks soon? Do you know any of that? About what his next steps are?
I'm not too sure on his next steps. I know he's playing it very, very safely. Like he knows exactly when to stop in the practice. Like in all realistic, like he did I think 3 rounds of that, like what I mentioned, and he could have went for probably 4 or 5. But he knows exactly when to stop so that he's just got that perfect amount of blood in his arm, I think.
Yeah.
And he's still good for the next day, right? He just wants to work himself down to like a certain percentage, I think.
Okay.
And then I think he's just focused, like he says, hitting bullseyes, right? He wants to just hit the perfect practice every time. He knows when he feels like he shouldn't go any further and he doesn't want to negatively affect things.
Right.
So he stops there. And I think it's just continue this, build up for the next couple months. And he's looking to hit that one peak. Like I don't think he's going to peak multiple times. I think he's just going to gradually, and then he's just going to peak June 25th, right?
Nice. Yeah.
So,
That's impressive. I heard in one of the videos, I heard Matt saying that Devon puts on a lot more size at the end. Something to do with sugar and carbs up.
oh yeah,
Uh, so
yeah,
still have some
yeah,
size to see it when he steps onto that stage. That'll be crazy.
and that's the thing. Like I think this far out of his match with Michael, he was just coming out of like DVT and all that stuff. So he was like 240 this far out, and then he was able to hit that for Michael.
Right.
And I guess Matt had said this is the heaviest he's been this far out from a match. So like he's gonna be. I don't.
Wow.
I'd like to see him be like 330. I don't think that's gonna happen. Like he'll
Yeah.
tell you himself. It's just he'd like to, but it's just not possible. But
That's heavy.
I think he's gonna be big. But he's also lean. Like he's not like he says with Michael. He felt a little bit out of shape or something like that. Like he's just
Okay.
not. He felt strong, but he felt like he could have done it better. I think this time that's what he says. He's leaner
Yeah.
while also being that heavy, right?
Right. Right.
So
Jeez. Man, I don't even know. I don't even know. That's so much power. And not only that, but you arranged for a surprise for me. That was
yeah,
really cool. So I'll
that's
share most of that clip. I'll have to edit out a part. There's a part that's it's funny, but I probably shouldn't include it. So yeah, you surprised me with a video
yeah.
of you and Devon.
Well, just before I pulled him, he said like, "Come on, Saskatoon, get on the table." Just before I pulled him, this was the conversation that led to that because I
Okay.
told him I can't do Saskatoon, and he's like, "Holy shit!" He's like, "Who you training with?" And I said, "Well, Curtis Klashinsky runs the club," and he says, "Oh yeah, I followed him for years, right?" So that's when my brain was like, "Okay, I'm not worried about me anymore. That's pretty awesome for Curtis. So I got to get in a video, right?" You know, so that's where my mind went after that. So I kind of just caught him at the end there right before we were leaving, and I said, "Hey, you want to do that video?" And he said, "Oh yeah." So
I'll share that probably at the end of
that's
this
part, right?
video so that people can see it because I'm still in shock. I think I've watched that video about a dozen times. It's like, he knows who I am? How the hell does Devon Larratt know who I am?
Like I said, I didn't get him any of that info. He went right into your stocks and your Bitcoin. I didn't tell him any of that. So
Yeah, he dove right into crypto. That was awesome. Then he mentioned Bitcoin, and I'm like, yeah, of course, I've been into Bitcoin for a bit now. So, but
yeah,
that was really cool. Thank you for the surprise. Um,
absolutely.
So that's neat. So at least we get an update on what's going on with Matt and Devon. They're both making all the gains and seeing all these clubs. I can't wait to see the video of whatever video gets released from the Edmonton training there. I haven't pulled much with the Edmonton boys, so it'd be good to see that on the table.
I'm not entirely sure. Like I think they're just a massive club. That's why I'm having trouble thinking of who's all on that team. I
Yeah,
think there's just so many of them that I can't think of names.
I believe that's Israel Arm Wrestling, right? Like all the equipment, all the gear. I think that's them. I think that's
Yeah,
someone on that team runs that Israel Arm Wrestling. And man, they have some quality
right.
stuff. Like we have some guys here that have ordered some of that stuff. I would
Mm-hmm.
love to get one of their tables, and I'd love even more to get that fancy pulley. They have this pulley that hooks up to your table. One of our guys bought it, David, and it is the quality is just excellent. Like excellent quality. I would
Yeah.
love to get one of those.
Yeah, like I don't think I've ever personally used the equipment, but I know all I've heard is good things. The only equipment I think I've ever used was, I think the Red Deer Club has one of their tables,
Okay.
and it's probably one of the comfiest tables I've ever been on.
Yeah.
Like it's a really nice table.
Yeah, because they have like a
So I
baseline table and then like a pro table, which has the leg wraps on it too, which is nice.
yeah, I think it's one of those ones. Yeah, with the leg wraps and everything.
Yeah,
So
it's a little more money, but it sure looks prettier.
oh yeah,
So there's that, and then for let's round this video out, I guess, with upcoming events. So that Lethbridge Arm Wrestling Classic is coming up. That's March 19th. So for us that makes it very interesting because we have this massive practice on Saturday, and then really a week off, and then Saturday is Lethbridge. That's
yeah,
going to be huge because we want to
yeah,
set up
maybe
some
that.
guys.
Yeah,
Set up some guys, see how we do out there, and that's really where I'm looking to test myself. I mean, see where I really stand. If I take some losses, I know what I need to work on, and if I take some wins, then I just keep aiming higher. That's how this works. So,
absolutely. Yeah,
so I'm really looking forward to that event because I hope a lot of guys show up. I'd really like to see that.
Yeah, me too. Like, are you? I know you're gunning for the 220s at nationals. You're probably still going to be supers for this one?
Oh yeah, oh
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, oh yeah. I'm heavy right
yeah,
now. Yeah, so I've
yeah.
I've dropped. So when I started out, started losing weight, eating a little cleaner, incorporating cardio and stuff once or twice a day, and taking more green tea. Get that heart rate up, boost the digestion process, and I've come down from 249 to last time I weighed myself, I was like 242 and a half. And I'm betting I'm down another pound or so from that. So, yeah, I'll still be plenty heavy
So you
for this
dropped the
event.
class
But
at nationals then.
what's that?
Pretty good then. So you've at least dropped one class at nationals. You went from the open to the 110, I guess. But then
Yes.
just one more class to go, right?
Yeah, I'm well on track. So I actually hope to, if I can follow, follow the guidelines I've set for myself and follow those steps, I should be on track to be down about 215 pounds by nationals, and that's without cutting. That's going 215. I can still eat good meals. I'm not depleted. I'm not weakened at all. That's what I really don't want. I don't want to be weaker. Feel strong.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think you can do it. I mean, everybody keep up with the human hamster wheel in the morning. Every morning. Eh? Every
That
morning.
damn human hamster wheel, man.
Eh?
Oh, jeez.
Yeah,
That's a
good
tough
way to
game
do it.
some mornings. It's a tough game some mornings, Riley. I tell you.
Yeah, I hear you. Some tougher than others, right?
Yeah. So we have that. So that's March 19th. We'll cover that one in more detail
Yeah.
soon here, right? We'll talk about those super matches and get some stats and stuff on these guys for that event, right?
Yeah, that's the goal. It's gonna be a pretty good super match card, and then pretty good all-out turnout, I think, for pullers just in general, right, for the tournament.
Yeah, exactly. So that'll be there. And then April 2nd, which isn't far around the corner from that takes us into our Saskatchewan Provincials.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I don't know who will show up. I'm guessing that's gonna be a similar show up as like that Regina tournament. I would guess you'd have. I don't
yeah.
know. Do you know of anyone else who would come out? I can't. I don't know. Any ideas?
Yeah, I don't know. Like Saskatchewan provincials, there's a lot of guys that could just come out of the woodwork that we haven't seen at like events for a while too. But
This is true.
the ones that have been coming out, you got your Kane Emsing. He's always there. He's always running the mic. Like he's always wearing multiple hats. But
Yeah.
he'll be probably there. You got like, Esmonds will probably be there. They're at like every SAS
Guaranteed.
tournament. Vincent Squires maybe show up. That'll be good.
Oh yeah. How does this work for you? Are you competing in Saskatchewan Provincials, or what are you doing? Because you train with two different teams.
Yeah. Well, even with Lloyd, like it's a border city, but I think I've always competed for Saskatchewan.
Okay.
That's just how it's worked. So I think I'm aiming for Sask Provincials. I'm still not guaranteed if I can make this Lethbridge one, but I hear the Saskatoon club will be represented pretty well there, anyways.
Well, that's the plan. I know.
Yeah.
I know Joel and myself will be there. Joel has a super match, and then I'm just competing in the open tournament. I want to expose myself to as many different arms as I can.
I talked to Caleb there. He's looking forward to it. I talked to him in Red Deer.
Oh yeah, he's looking forward to that super match.
Yeah, he's looking solid. And I told him, I said, well, I've never been on a table with you. I said, I can't do anything with Joel at practice. And I said, I doubt I can do anything with you either. So it's going to be a good match.
Did you, by chance, grip up with him at all, or no, when you were training?
I didn't get to, no. Like, it was all on Devon. Like, I pulled a few other guys. It was more just, like, light pulling just to keep myself warm.
Okay.
So my whole purpose there was just be, like, a fly on the wall and just add that little bit of pressure to Devon's prep.
Yeah.
So, as small as it is, just with everybody else adding to, that's kind of all I was there for.
Nice.
Like, I didn't even pull with Matt. It's just, he didn't pull that much either. Like, he's kind of doing the same thing, just beat Devon down in the areas that nobody else can.
Right.
So, yeah, I was just pull Devon, right? But so I never got to pull with Caleb, but he's looking strong. So.
Caleb, yeah, he looks strong in the footage I saw of him. ripping on Devon's arm. I mean, it looked like no slouch. His body position was good. He was, good hand in his top roll. I don't know. I thought it was good. And then the furthest we'll go May 8th. May 8th will be the BC Provincial Championships. So,
That'll be good. Yeah.
There's that. And then the 14th is actually Quebec. There's, people have a lot coming up in a very short time here. That's within the next couple of months, people are going to be facing some, big title shots for these provincial titles and stuff. So,
yep. Yeah, in a way, like the first year back, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I mean, see where everyone's, you'll be able to tell pretty quick, who's been doing what in the off time, if that's what you want to call it, when everything was shut down. But yeah, I'll be curious to see. I know our club has made serious gains, and I've heard of some clubs that weren't even really running. So, yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting to see where everybody sits come table time.
Yeah, you mentioned BC, like that's where Jeff Frank's training now. He's got a huge club down there. He says they're all really strong. So it'll be interesting to see how good BC's doing. I don't see a lot of coverage on social media unless I'm just blind, but I don't know. I'm sure they haven't stopped. Like one of the strongest guys I've ever felt in my weight class come out of BC. That's Anthony D'Alantonia.
That's a name. That's a name. I met him. What a nice guy. That is a nice guy. I like
super
that guy.
Nice. Yeah.
He's a good dude, and he's a monster on the table. Yeah, I can't say anything bad about Anthony.
No, the nicest dude ever that will just rip your arm off straight.
Yeah, absolute monster. But that's it, man. We'll let's wrap this up. So not every video is super, super long, though we went longer than I think. It doesn't really matter because we're just here to share, the love of arm wrestling. So that's what we're doing. I think that's it. That's it from myself. Riley, you good?
That's all I can say. Yeah. I mean, I can go on and on, but for just a casual news day, I think that's all I can say. Yeah.
Right on, buddy. Sounds like a time for some, grip and rip.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right on, buddy. I will see you Saturday, right? Coming for this big practice?
Yeah, that's the plan. Yeah, so it starts at 1. So I'll be there at 4.
Hey, Curtis. How's it going?
Hey, buddy. Where were you? I know you're busy, becoming a billionaire, investing in all the good XRPs and the Shibu and what else? I mean, did you get on Bitcoin, Curtis? Are you smarter than all of us put together? Hey, hope you're doing good, buddy. Next time I'm in Saskatchewan.
Good stuff. Yeah, he said he's been following you for years, so good stuff.